I work on my own. Like, I better get to that ship. And I know I'm making fun of Brody. He's an Oscar winner. But he doesn't have to do that. And they always throw like it's just this very weird ingredient that's in your face at all times in this movie. But I admire it because it's $40 million. That's nothing, man. That's nothing. So I have a love, not a hate, but like a dislike relationship with this because I like the look of the Predators. There's finally a classic Predator back on the screen. You have some awesome actors, but then just, I don't know, just.
I guess you could also think of it as like, with them rushing everything, trying to get it going, getting the script together, getting what they shot it in like 50 days or something like that. You make a choice, you kind of got to stick with it. Like there's not a whole lot of time to, change it up on the fly, I guess. And I guess that kind of goes too with, I know there were issues that they were questioning Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
And if he was right for the part. And Nimród really fought for him to be in that. And I don't know how much he didn't necessarily change, but the role changed a whole lot. I think I saw from what they originally scripted it. And they didn't, I think Rodriguez didn't think that he could do it after the change, but they brought him in, sat down, took time to it, and then kind of convinced him to do it. So I don't know if it was anything that maybe Goggins changed up, or maybe he was just Goggins being Goggins, which is probably the case. You can always tell when Goggins is kind of being Goggins in his roles, but it worked. And I don't know. Maybe was it so much that Nimród was just pulling for Adrien so much to be in this because of what he wanted, kind of regardless of those choices, or was he really on board with these strong choices that he made to sound a specific way and I gotta do that? I don't know. Maybe it flipped Nimrod's switch. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Nimród loved what he was doing. Because, I mean, the guy was committed. This is tough, right? So he was hired to work on Armored, which had a big ensemble cast, Nimród Antal, and Robert Rodriguez appreciated. This is kind of crazy. I don't know if he was throwing shade, but on the commentary, he's like, yeah, you worked on Armored, and on that movie you had Matt Dillon, and he named a few of the other cast members, and he's like, you had a really smooth shoot with them. So I guess what he was saying is that they're notoriously a pain in the ass. So he figured he could handle this cast. But if you're relatively new, you have a couple, things you shot in Europe, you have a film you shot here, Armored, and then you get an Oscar winner on your film set who put on 25 pounds and is just dedicated beyond all belief.
Yeah.
How, man, that's tough, right? Because you want that synthesis.
Something. Yeah.
You want that synthesis. So it's tough. Like, I do think, you know what I hate though, Nathan, and I apologize to anybody listening who enjoys these videos, and I know there are.
Apologize.
I know there are some really good videos out there, but there's a whole kind of industry out there of how to make this movie better. There's entire episodes that get 10 million views about the ending of Frozen 2 fixed, and it's this person going, "This is what I would have done." So you got that, and you got that. Hindsight is 20/20, and I've worked on film sets, man. I've been on film sets that were like, "This is going to win an Oscar." And then it doesn't even get released. Like, it's just what happens on film sets. So I have a hard time, like, we're talking about the voice in this film, but I don't think we're talking about how to change the ending or change the plot, because this was a rush production. But I do think that voice, man, I can't make it. Right?
But imagine certain lines, like, imagine how different the pace would have been, or different lines would have been delivered, or just the overall kind of atmosphere of certain scenes if it wasn't like this. And it was maybe up here a little bit more. Like, come on, kill me! I'm right here, kill me! You kind of have to have, I guess this kind of goes like, you can't help but compare it to Predator. You can't. Anytime that anything involving Predator comes up, you're going to compare it, especially to that movie with things that have come before. And things in that were so iconic, and lines delivered and everything else, that you can't help compare it, because it's, to a lot of people, just like perfect. Like, how else can you do it? Does it have to be that kind of gruff, something like tough guy thing? And if it's like an octave above, is it going to kill it for, how many people, or just not make it as impactful? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I absolutely. And that's a tough decision. And that's one, if I had that decision, Nathan, I wouldn't, you saw me on Comic-Cons. I'm pretty blunt with people, but I've never dealt with But also, I had to deal with some actors, and you know the stories, man. They kind of ran all over me because, like, they're like paid to be there. I'm not gonna be like, no. So but I also, it's tough, man. So I feel bad for Nimrod on this because he delivered this is a good looking movie. And I think the cinematography, I really like the production design. And like Robert Rodriguez, what I love about him is his crew worked on this. Like the production designers are Kayla Edelblut and Steve Joyner. They did Alita. They had done art direction on Kill Bill. Really great work making Austin, Texas look like a jungle. And then you had Gila Pados was the director of photography. This is another guy that has shot, like, I don't know, some excellent movies. I mean, this guy's doing the Jumanji movies now. He's doing the new Shazam, the Maze Runner movies, which were big budget. So you have a lot of talent. You have Mahershala Ali, two-time Oscar winner. You have Walton Goggins, who should have 48 billion Emmys. I don't know what for. Can you give those out for Justified? I don't know. But
I'd give it out for Justified. I've been a fan of Goggins since I saw him in The Shield. I always talk about The Shield. I love that show. I try to watch it in its entirety every couple of years because he was just great in that. And then he goes to Justified, and then he goes to all these other movies. I mean, he is memorable in anything that he is in, even if it's for a short amount of time.
Absolutely.
You just remember line deliveries or his presence or just things about him you can't help but recognize. But as much as I love Goggins, why does he always have to be the sleazy creeper?
Yeah, he's so sleazy in this.
It's just like,
oh gosh, and then also you have Alice Braga. I love her in City of God. You have an Oscar winner, Adrien Brody. When I remember in 2010, when I was like 2009, I guess, when the movie was announced and I heard about the casting, I remember going, Topher Grace, Adrien Brody, Walton Goggins, like Alice Braga, like. I remember, like, so I'm a big MMA fan. I was like, Oleg Taktarov? Like, Danny Trejo? And actually, we're doing this episode because we're doing a Danny Trejo shift.
Yeah, we're doing our nice little jump ship from our Elias Koteas that we started with.
We went from Elias Koteas to Danny Trejo. Oh, that makes me happy. But
you just got when you're going through the podcast, just look for my name. Look for Nathan Lay, and you'll follow the breadcrumbs to see how we got here.
I love the outside the box casting on this movie. I don't know if I'm in love with the twist at the end because, okay, first and foremost, how did the Predator scouts know that Edwin was a serial killer? Serial killers Nathan, like serial killers aren't out in the street just going, yeehaw! You know, like,
they're not advertising. Exactly, which comes into earlier, and I know it was a joke, but like how do they go into this? Like, you could argue that like the information they've collected over the years from battling Arnold in the jungle or Danny Glover or whatever, that they have enough information that they can recognize training, uniforms, different classes, camouflage. They're big fans of camouflage, so they recognize the camo patterns. I don't know, however you want to do it. But yeah, as far as the inmates, Walton Goggins being a death row inmate and Topher Grace being the serial killer, does that come back to, are they just like following people around? Are they just like,
they read the internet?
He looks like they read the internet. That's exactly it.
They have to. Like, this, how there's like true crime podcasts where they're like, we're going to find this killer. The Predators follow kills from Topher Grace. They go Zodiac on this. The Predators go full Zodiac to actually catch Edwin.
It would make sense, too, if they're constantly learning from kills and killing methods and all that stuff, and they've been on Earth for so long. That they've followed, I'm sure they're big fans, and they've followed, like, the big ones, and so they can see either kind of patterns that are coming out or different methods, and maybe they have a little bit of appreciation, so maybe they seek them out, like, more so than the others. Like, the other ones, the guy in the camo with the big gun, and he's, we've watched him. We know how many people he's killed, and he's been in it for a long time. He looks like he can handle himself. That'd be easy to find. But for the ones that they got to dig through and really find, I think they're very probably proud of that.
When you become world leader, Nathan, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Oh,
but one day, the entire world,
entire
world is going to go, Nathan, you have some skeletons in your closet, but we can forgive those. There's nothing we can get on you that, like, wipes you out. You are the president of the world.
Yes, I made it.
First thing I would do is I would go, I would go to Area 51 and be like, hey, get me in touch with these Predator scouts, these Yautja scouts. They come, they meet me. They have really nice button-up shirts. We're chatting. I say, hey, listen, get the worst of the worst off this world. I won't say nothing. You don't say nothing. Just beam them out of here. But like, you can't take people that like chew bubble gum. Like, get serial killers. Get child traffickers. Like, get the worst of the worst. Don't just take, like, don't. If someone jaywalks,
don't take John Wick. He's got morals. I mean, I know you're afraid of him already, but like we like him around here.
Don't take the Baba Yaga. Just take the bad stuff off the streets. And listen, this is going to be a really morally complicated issue, this deal. But I'll say, okay, I'll be like, listen, every soldier you take off, find one serial killer. Right?
We know you like soldiers. We know you're very fond of them, but like just one soldier, one serial killer. We got prison. You know what a prison is? Prisons full of bad people. Take your pick. Yeah. They're so bad that we want to kill them. So you take those that pick of the litter.
Only the ones on death row, though.
Only the ones on death row.
And here, we know are guilty. None of this like
here. We'll put up a sheet. You just each throw a dart. Each throw a dart. That's you can have that. Oh, there it is. Goggins. Yes, we hate him. Absolutely, he's terrible. Take him.
We don't want to have a thing where like we accidentally put somebody up and like then you take them, then we realize they were innocent. Like, you guys are good.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah, this is no exoneration. These are bad. They've confessed, or we found 19 bodies. Like, just these guys right
If
here.
the New York Times finds out about this, they're gonna write an article, be like, I guess it works. It's like
aliens exist, but we're okay with these aliens.
Yeah, world leader.
They're after us, but not all of us. Just
world
the bad part.
leader Nathan has made a rule. All right, I know we just got dark there.
It's gonna be a picture of me with like a thumbs up, and it's like, hey, okay, in my book. Friends, not foes. Friends of foes.
And then, people complain, and you're like, do we want to have this race of hunter aliens as enemies?
Yeah, better these 9 people than the 9 billion that are on this planet.
Captain America would hate that.
Captain America would not be okay with it at all.
I'll be like, take Captain America.
We don't leave a man behind. We don't leave a man behind. That would be interesting if you get Cap and Bucky thrown in the jungle. They would
take them, right?
Predators.
Wouldn't they take the Hulk?
I don't know if they would, because again, those aren't bad people. Like I'm sure they're salivating when they look at Clint Barton, and they look at Banner and like all these things. I'm sure they're salivating, like waiting for it to come. Like, give me a Spider-Man in the jungle. I want that. That'd be a good challenge for them. The Spidey sense against cloaking device. That'd be great. But yeah, people. Then you got the popularity of them, and you can't do that. And they defend the Earth, and that's just that wouldn't be good for anyone.
Man, okay.
The scouts that come out want it to be as easy as possible. They don't want to go through red tape and paperwork.
Yeah,
they just want, here's what you got. I got it. Cool. Awesome. Got it. I got my bad guy quota. I can go home to my crappy condo, my crappy spaceship condo, and I can just chill and hate my life because I can't kill anything.
Just watch Days of Our Hunting Lives.
Days of Our Hunts.
You have a twin?
What?
Yeah, you fell down an elevator shaft and came back? I'm a triplet. Wait, what?
You were in season 7. You thought you killed them all, but 2 survived. Picture of Lawrence Fishburne.
It's how about
stripping medals and bones and things off of them they've earned. Their wife divorces them. I thought I knew you.
We need this. I need this show. All right, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more Predators. We will be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I'm not brave enough. I was going to say that while we were gone, we did all the stuff that Walton Goggins was talking about in this movie, but I'm not going to say any of that.
Don't let me into that.
Yeah, we just did some...
Yeah. I will say from now on, when you address me, I do want to be referred to as President Nathan.
World leader. Universal leader.
Universal. Whoa. That's way too much responsibility. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, we just did some cocaine, but that's
okay. That's as brazen as we'll get. One thing that was really fun, and I think goes into like the choosing methods too, since we're talking about our scouts again here, is they can't get too much of the same person, right? Like you gotta mix it up. Like, do you think that Predators play a decent amount of like Earth video games? Because in any of like the shoot 'em ups and things like, you always got like the different classes and the different stereotype. Well, you got your heavy. Like, ooh, we need to get a heavy. Get this guy with a minigun. Yeah. Now what do we need? We need a sniper. Ooh, yeah. Get this chick over here. We need to, we need this. We need that.
We need a serial killer. What?
We need the rogue. We need the sneaky little son of a bitch. We need the loudmouth that doesn't really do a whole lot.
But
But
he
they've got
shivs
like
predators though.
he shivs the hell out of that predator. Absolutely.